Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Kej, but we're going to be talking about Kej, which is a currency that players can earn in the War Within expansion. So there are two weekly quests that you can do, or claim I should say, from Donegal that will give you a whole bunch of Kej. So the first is your weekly dungeon quest. This comes from Beergoth. She will give you a weekly dungeon quest, which is great. It gives you tons of rep. Basically, the first quest completion basically will give you a whole bunch of rep, but the next time you do it on any else, it will give you Kej as well and resonance crystals, which is pretty cool. The other one basically is the weekly quest where you can choose what you want to do throughout Kazorgar. In this, basically, you are able to obtain a pinnacle disc or pinnacle cache, and this Call of the World Soul quest that players can obviously claim is going to be pretty helpful, as pinnacle caches can obtain Kej as well. So that's always pretty good stuff, basically, to cut a long story short. When you get to Renown 3, we have the ability to unlock the ability to forge pacts. Forging pacts basically gives you a weekly advantage to be able to unlock world quests, rumors, treasures, and unique abilities. Basically, that will enable you not only to get Kej, but a whole bunch of other rewards. So this is very important. You should have it unlocked. It unlocks at Renown 3, which you should unlock through the progress with the main story, so you should be able to get that done. Once you have unlocked the ability to deal with packs, you will want to forge a pack with a specific side. Forging with them will essentially give you access to Kej for weeklies and things like that. Basically, one thing I will say specific to the Vizier is a weekly buff that increases your Kej earnings. You need to get to collaborator reference with them, but basically this will increase your overall Kej gain that you get. So if you really want to focus on Kej, you can go with the Vizier overall, which once you click who you want to unlock with, you will get your Pact ability, but you will also get a weekly, and in this you will get a chest that will give Kej, but also you will gain access on the map to quests, and all of a sudden these quests will give you items and things, but also give you the ability to potentially pick up Kej as well. But it's mainly the weekly chest that will give you quite a bit. Upon hitting rank 3, or 4 I should say, with the 7 threads, which again you should also get, you will get a small Kej wallet, which once you unlock your first pact, will also give you 750 Kej, which is a pretty cool start overall. So that's just a nice way to basically stack up on Kej. So there are some Delver's Call quests that you can do. You can do them on every single ult as well. So Spiral Weave and Takrathon Abyss, which you can both find in the main hub of Weaver's Lair, you can take on each ult and earn 300 in total. So it's a pretty nice way to pick it up, especially if you're into doing delves. It doesn't take long to do a delve, so there is some definite incentive. Of course, this continues as you increase Renown. So every couple of levels you get a small Kej wallet, which is 750, and then eventually larger Kej wallets, which contains 1500, continuing on as you gain Renown through the channels. You can also do Rumours. Rumours essentially can spawn if you find or see these little symbols on the map, and Rumours basically are short objectives that if you do them will reward you some Kej. Basically, to cut a long story short, they are solid ways of getting Kej. It depends on the rumor that you spawn, but they can give you 50 Kej each, which is great. They usually don't take too long. The rumors will only spawn once you've chosen your faction for the week, so you can't just expect them to drop. You have to some degree, basically, choose your faction, and then you'll fly around, you'll see them as you're kind of running through the zone. So yeah. Rares are probably one of the last remaining ways that you can obtain Kej for yourself. Rares, basically, to cut a long story short, they will spawn. So rares continuously spawn in Ashket. They aren't locked out. So you can kill them as many times as you want on as many different ults as you want. Some of them are on different timers. Some take a couple hours. Some take a couple minutes. But rares will drop a Kej each time. So every time you manage to get rid of a rare, there's lots of other rewards. But generally speaking, you'll be able to pick up a bit of Kej each time. It's not guaranteed, but basically they drop a small amount. So you can get it. It depends on the rare, of course, but generally speaking, there is a really, really good incentive towards taking them out because it will drop for you a absolute ton of Kej, which is great. So yes, Kej is obviously quite a few ways to get, which is pretty great, but there's also a reason to obtaining Kej. And now we're going to talk specifically about why you want it, and there's quite a few really good reasons as to actually obtaining Kej and what it is used for. So hunting all the rares, doing all the rumors, doing your weeklies, all actually has a purpose, fortunately. So all Kej that is earned can be spent in the Weaver's Lair, and it can be spent at quite a few different vendors in the Weaver's Lair. There's Yaketi. Yaketi basically will give you a ton of stuff that you can buy. Companions, toys, there's a couple mounts, which is really awesome, which you can see here. And a draw crawler, which I think is epic as hell. But that's not all. Just behind Yaketi, you will find Yamas, the provider. He also sells a whole bunch of stuff. Now he sells something a little bit different. These basically give you essentially little buffs that you can use to take on certain areas of the Ashket. So these aren't actually some of them aren't actually used items, like Rumor Maps, for example, reveals the rumors of maps. Rumor Map bundle shows you a lot of rumor maps. You can get treasure maps. You can get Venom D scrubs. You can get stuff that just helps you in Ashket. But you can also grab, of course, a ton of different mounts. Spider-themed mounts, so maybe not everyone's into it, but definitely a ton of great mounts. You can also gain access to profession tables, and basically, yeah, you can get a lot of really, really, really good stuff. Hearthstones, etc., which is really awesome. But that's not all. Each faction's leader also has their own stuff. I believe it's all bundled together with Yamas. So I think all of it is bundled together with him. So I don't think you have to go to each individual vendor. I think they all offer the exact same thing pretty much. Then we also have the ability to grab yourself some Kej purchase with resonance crystals, or vice versa, exchange Kej into resonance crystals, which is also fairly helpful depending on what situation you're in. You can purchase even more in the actual City of Threads as well. So not only from the Weaver's Lair, but in the City of Threads you can buy even more things with Kej, which is incredibly helpful. There are, though, tons of vendors in here, and so going through every single one is not necessarily top of my list. But what's super important is that if you go to the vendors here for your profession, so whether it's herbalism, alchemy, etc., with Kej you can buy 10 knowledge increase books, and I believe you can buy 2 of them per character. So basically you can purchase 2 of them only. If you change professions, you will no longer be able to get them, but they are really, really good if you are someone who is looking to pick up some easy knowledge. These are going to be super helpful, but there are a ton of vendors in here, So it's not something that's going to be super duper easy to go through, but you should definitely consider buying them. So they are super valuable. Plus there's patterns and just tons of additional stuff that's really helpful and cool. So that is that. That is everything you need to know about Kej. It is a super helpful, super easy, super useful resource. It honestly doesn't take that long to get it if you are like spend a little bit of time in as Kej, and you'll get it like very quickly, especially if you do like the side quests, you kill the rares, you do all that stuff. So you should get it fairly quickly, and it's honestly super duper worth it. So yeah, that's it from me.